There was an article that said you had one of the fastest times in the combine history, and then I tried to click the link. I couldn't find it. So what was your 40 time at the combine?
So I ran the 40 in 2002 in Indianapolis. I ran a 4.31 electronic. And at that time and point, only 9 other people had run faster than a 4.31. Since then, in 2003, when they changed the turf or so, there's been blazing times galore. But, yep, prior to 2002, there were only a handful of people that had clocked under a 4.31.
Man, well, 4.31's not bad. I would hang my hat on that. I would hang my hat on that for sure. We're talking with Aaron Lockett. So what sparked my brain here, and I'm honestly, we should have had you on a long time ago. Obviously, you're somebody as a K-State fan growing up that I remember extremely fondly. But I saw, this is very cool, you're the founder and owner of Next Page Sports, and you got Tyler signed up to be a client for you guys. So I'm reading the tweet here. As founder owner of Next Page Sports, we're excited to announce the signing of our first client at TD Lockett to a marketing deal. Obviously, that's really cool. If you can just give us some of the background on what it is you're doing today and what it means to get Tyler locked up there.
Oh, sure. So for the post my 5-year playing career, I spent a year and a half in the NFL, spent 3 years up in Canada. For the last 15 years, I'm here in Houston, Texas. I've been working in oil and gas, and so I've just acquired a number of skill sets in my toolbox now. And so when you look at like finance and strategy, optimization, operations, and business development, I finally found a way to take all of my skills and marry it with my passion, and I decided to build my own sports agency. And so Next Page Sports is the name of that agency, and it's really built on listening to our clients. And so I have a team of 3. I have actually Kylie Cook, who is Michael Smith's daughter. She is my lawyer, and she will also be a certified contract advisor to represent NFL players. And then I have a gentleman named Spurgeon Wynn, who's an ex-quarterback by the Cleveland Browns. He will be one of my agents for our coaching division. And so Next Page Sports will represent football coaches, college and pro, and then we'll represent professional football players and basketball players. So I just got my NBA certification in March of this year. I'll have my NFL certification by July. It's been postponed a year based on the pandemic, so I'm a year behind, but I'm okay with that. It gave me time to do brand awareness. And then we have a marketing division. And so what you guys just saw was just opening up the marketing division, and I've signed Tyler as my first client for the marketing division.
What is the first time you can remember watching Tyler and being like, man, he's got a chance to be really special? Like, at what point did that really hit you that he had the kind of talent to take him where he's at?
You know, it's interesting. It had to be his freshman year at Kansas State because his pass looked a little bit big, and he didn't look like he was quite as fast. But it was the fourth quarter. It was 0-0 ball game. They threw him back there as a returner. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And it was to the back of the end zone. And I was like, come on, just catch the ball. And not only did he catch it, but he hit the gap and split it and almost broke it for 90. And I said, you got something. I always wondered if it was going to transition from high school to college because that's a big leap for most guys. But at that second, I saw that he had that to make that route. And, that return. And so from there, he scored the next week against Miami, his first career touchdown, and from there he just took off.
I like it. That's a good memory. I'm impressed. What's the scouting report on Sterling, then, who's now committed to K-State?
So Sterling is a little bit taller than Tyler. He's more built like Kevin. He's got wider shoulders, not quite as fast as Tyler, but great route runner, especially just being a junior in high school, catches the ball extremely well. I think he'll be a student of the game. Looking forward to see him transition as well, but I've seen him back as a returner, and so he's running track now, so he's working on that turnover. We'll get him right, and so when he gets on campus, I'll be excited to see what he can do when this time comes.
Is there a good anecdote, a good story you can share about you and or Kevin growing up? Like, what was the Lockett household like growing up?
Summertime, we would play tackle football in the living room. And every now and then I would get a couple of tackles and think I'm doing pretty good, and he would get serious on me. And then I realized that he wasn't a big guy, but I wasn't much bigger. And so because of that, he felt like he was so much bigger. Just always competitive at the house. I didn't really realize how good of an athlete he was until I saw him go to college. I watched him in high school, and then, he dunked one time his senior year, and I thought, he can jump, he can dunk. And in football, he was so skinny though, but when he got to college, he started to do it against the Nebraskas and Colorados of the world. And from there on, I knew that he was a pretty good athlete.
Yeah, no, he arrived right away. 1993, he was balling out for sure. The last thing here, again, I don't know if how you'll react to this, but your Wikipedia page, I'm reading along, and it's like, and by the way, Aaron Lockett is an accomplished rapper. Yes. So I look at the link. I click the link, and it's like an old scouting report of you coming out for the draft, and just dropped in the scouting report was that you were an accomplished rapper. So I would love to know about Aaron Lockett's rap career.
So full-blown rapper in high school, performed in talent shows since my freshman year in high school. Spent every weekend my senior year when I stopped playing basketball in Los Angeles at Sound Castle Studios recording music. And so, ironically, when I was out there in 1996, Kobe Bryant was in the studio next to me.
Wow.
And so Kobe had just got drafted by the Lakers. And so, small world. I didn't know Kobe, didn't know who he was, other than he was a 6'6" guy that wanted to rap. And so rest in peace. But I remember spending my weekends out there. And so when I went to college, I almost went to UCLA because I wanted to make music and play football, but I had to obviously make a decision between the two. And so I put the rap career aside. But if I didn't play football and if I didn't run track, then I most likely would have been a rapper fresh out of high school.
That is awesome. Like, that's really cool that you got to go out there and do that. Are these tapes or CDs, whatever? Like, are they around somewhere? Can I find you on Spotify? Like, how do I listen to Aaron Lockett?
Look, I hope not. So I made one full-blown, at that time, single that I had put out, and it was more for promotional activity just to make sure that there was a fan base. But from there on, I turned around and went to college, and as I got to Kansas State, started focusing on football, and before I knew it, that took over. And so I did a couple of shows on the side. So, like, I did the Slant. I did some pregame rapping for one of game day films before a K-State game, but for the most part, I put it on the shelf and never looked back.
Now, what was your rap name? Were you under Aaron Lockett? Did you have an alias?
Oh no, they call it a monarchy. So my rap name was Strange.
Strange. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if Strange ever makes a comeback, please let me know. I would love to listen. We'll help promote it as much as we can around here.
I appreciate that.